Is it expensive?
Today we're going to be unpackaging a wish list item that I've wanted for my garden for a really long time. Hi, it's Steph. Welcome back to my garden. Well, today is a really exciting day for me because I'm going to be installing a fountain by Campania. It arrived a couple of weeks ago, but there was some prep work that we had to do prior to installing the fountain. So today George is going to help me with the unpackaging and the setup, and we're going to share that process with you.
You keep me wondering, is our love strong? Just like a love song, baby, it's haunting me. Don't know what you're thinking, it's like I'm sinking deep underwater. Maybe it's harder for me. Oh, harder for me. Maybe we're over.
Wow, that was a lot of packaging, but it did an excellent job in keeping all of these concrete pieces protected because they arrived in perfect condition. We ordered the fountain on gardenfountains.com and shipping via freight was included, which is excellent because this is a heavy piece. And the one that I ordered was the Williamsburg Pineapple 2-tier fountain in the color Alpine Stone, but it does come in several colors. So now I'm going to show you the area in the garden where we're going to place the fountain. The fountain is going right here in my patio bed, and this area is right off of our driveway and the entrance to our garden. And for several years, I have had a solar fountain right here in the center of the bed. But as my plants have grown, the fountain sort of gets hidden, and I wanted something with a little bit more height. So I will be repurposing that solar fountain somewhere else in the garden where we're doing a new project soon. And the new fountain is going right here in the center of my patio bed. It's also excellent to have a fountain in this space because as we're relaxing on the patio, we get to enjoy that beautiful sound of water. And I think it's just really welcoming here as you enter the backyard. So right here, we used to have a paved stone where we had our solar fountain. But because the instructions require this fountain to have a stable base that can withstand at least 331 pounds, I had to hand that over to George. So he's going to explain what he did to prepare this pad for our new fountain.
So when Steph approached me about a new fountain, I had two questions. Is it expensive and does it require my credit card? I had two questions. Is it heavy and does it require power? And actually, it's yes to both of those. So the first thing I had to figure out was what was the size of the base so I can pour a concrete pad? And it's about 13 by 13. So what I did was I went a little bit larger and I formed up a base that was 16 by 16, and I dug down about 18 inches. I added a little bit of rebar just to make sure it has some strength, and I poured the pad. And the most difficult part of this situation was crawling in here with a wheelbarrow and pouring this without disturbing any or hurting any of these plants. There's a lot of plants here. There are poppies in this area that are really small and things that to me look like weeds, but I cannot step on them. So we had to kind of take our time and maneuver to get in there. But luckily everything worked out and I was able to go right between these two hydrangeas and pour my pad. So now we have a nice level base. And the second part was getting electricity to it. Well, we have electricity nearby. So what I ended up doing was purchasing a 50-foot long extension cord that is 14 gauge. So it has a little bit of a thicker gauge wire for the pump. So it's black, which is nice because it's going to blend in with the mulch. So let's install this and see what it looks like.
So step one is going to be to place the base on that pad that we created. What are you doing?
I'm just getting some of the packing material off using this little brush.
I love this little brush. I use it all the time, and it's actually being handy for this, right?
Or a paintbrush would work.
Oh yeah, true. A little stiff bristled paintbrush.
Yep.
We're going to use a hand cart to move this out of here because it is 135 pounds.
So that last scene looked like I was struggling a little bit, and it was because I was trying to get around all these plants. So we have this sweet flag ogon, and I was trying to get it around here, and then we have these 2 hydrangeas right below it. This has been the most difficult part of the whole project. Anyway, it's in place, and I think the worst is behind us, but let's see how it's level, and it's looking good there. And then this way you're gonna have to come around, and we'll level there. So I think we're good to add the bowl. All right, before we add the bowl, we actually need to feed the power wire for the pump through the bowl and then through the pedestal and out the side. So that's what I'm gonna start doing now. So I'm gonna feed it through here. All right, can you hold that right here? I'm just feeding this through the center, and I gotta pull it out the bottom. Like I'm jumping rope.
That's about where it gets tight.
All right, so I'm gonna put this down. So let's get out of the way. All right, now this is gonna be a little tricky. We're gonna have to pick this up together.
Okay.
And basically on your side, I just wanna put the weight on this edge, but still have it up so I can feed the rest through. I'm gonna tip it down. And now just be careful with your back. So grab that right there. Yep.
Can you pull? Oh, we can't.
Okay, I'm gonna feed it through. All right, now we can lay it down slowly. Right there, we're right on the money.
Oh, it's so nice and tall.
All right, looks good.
Good?
Yep. Okay, so we have the bowl in place, and the power wire is going down the middle, down the pedestal, and it actually comes out the side there, and they made a notch so that the cord doesn't get pinched. So right there, you can see it moves freely. So we opted to put it going out the side instead of the front or the back because those areas are more in view, and here on the side it'll just go through these plants and you won't even see the cord. So now we can continue on. All right, so then we have this stopper that we need to put around the electrical cord for the pump, and we just got to press it into the middle of the bowl to create a watertight seal around this electrical cord. I just want to share something that I thought was a little bit confusing on the instructions. So I need to install this tubing, which is going to go up to the next layer. And in the instructions, it has a little red circle over this smaller adapter. So this is going to go into here. This looks like electrical tubing, but it's actually going to carry water. And then we're going to put this hose clamp here. And then we're going to connect this into the pump just by pushing it in. And that's it. So I'm going to tighten this up and we should be all set. And we're going to face the access to the pump towards there so you really don't see it when you walk in. There's a little cover for that. All right, so you put the hose clamp. Okay, and because this hose is a little bit long, what we're gonna do, instead of cutting it, is Steph, if you can pull it from the bottom, you'll feel the hose. Exactly. Perfect. So now we have the excess hose tucked into this pump access door. So now we just have to add the pineapple, and we're done.
Here's the cover for the access door. And the finishing piece, the pineapple finial. Oh, it is just so beautiful. For reference, I'm 5'4", and it's almost as tall as me. So it's a really grand piece, and I love it so much in this area. I was looking for a fountain with a classic feel that would suit our home and garden, and this one felt just right. It's part of Campania's Williamsburg line, inspired by the historic gardens of colonial Williamsburg. The pineapple motif on this fountain is a symbol of hospitality, which feels especially fitting in a space that we love to invite family and friends. And I especially love that part of the proceeds support preserving the gardens and history of Williamsburg. It makes this piece feel even more special. Well, it's been a few days since we set up our fountain, and I've really had some time to admire it. Its scale and weight really anchors this space and draws your eye, so it's really become a focal point in this bed. I've also had some time to plant some annuals. Recently, I added a drift of some angelonia, as well as some verbena, and even some begonias to bring a bit of color before all of our perennials in this bed kick in. The sound of a fountain really brings a little bit of a sensory experience to the garden. I've already seen birds enjoying the fountain by splashing around in the water, and it's just been really lovely so far. Adding a concrete fountain is certainly an investment, but it's one of those pieces that will bring timeless beauty to the garden season after season. I hope that this video was helpful to you in seeing how one of these pieces would arrive, how to unpack it, as well as some helpful setup tips. If you're ever interested in a fountain, you can check out gardenfountains.com, which is where this fountain came from. And I've already spent some time on the website, and I know for sure that this fountain was my first, but certainly won't be my last. Thank you so much for spending your time with me, and I'll catch you in the next one.